Today's video is going to be on just another edgy goober. I love making these videos sometimes, especially whenever I get someone like this, because I feel like we haven't really discussed this type of person or this type of salty douchebag. We haven't talked about this in a while. As a matter of fact, I don't think we've ever had anyone of this edgy role player style caliber on the channel. So I figured it'd be really fun to do since we have had some of these before in the past that I've just never shown off. The warden you just saw in the clip as I got Aerostorm's name is Real G for life, baby. The irony of him calling himself a real G and then sending me edgy hate mail afterwards is pretty odd. I actually didn't even know that I was in the game with this guy until the next game when he was playing Nobushi. I just figured I'd go ahead and show the interaction clips just to, for the memes, I guess. Either way, he ended up losing both games to me and a group of people, two of which are relatively new to the game and have less than 100 reps, both put together. And both of these new players were with me throughout these two matches. It turned out pretty okay, and actually I was playing with my good friend Bloodwolf, who you might remember from the channel, who hasn't really played this game seriously in a very long time. And honestly, this was the second interaction I ever even had with this warden after going back through all the footage, and this is the only time that I've ever actually, relatively even fought him, minus that first small encounter. After this, whenever he decided to pick Nobu, he did decide to do some shenanigans such as smoke bombs and light attacks. Nothing big, nothing out of the ordinary. Also, boom, JoJo reference pose for anyone who doesn't know about it yet. But I wanted to show off a little bit of this gameplay in terms of breaking it apart into small segments. In between these segments, I wanted to just talk about the game and why I hate this type of attitude that the game has driven people to send these types of messages. As you could tell from the thumbnail alone, the guy told me that if I stay in that lobby, then I'm gonna regret it, basically. He warned me. He kept repeatedly saying that he was warning me. It's really strange. I stayed for 2 games, and we all decided we were going to get off after that second game, and I didn't even notice the messages until everyone was leaving. But I guess that's just how the tables turn. If I ever do see this guy again, I guess I'm going to have to make it my life decision to make his life hell instead of allowing him to do it to me. Apparently he has a whole list of people he does this to, just for beating him up, I guess. And it's kind of ironic. At one point here in a little bit, I'm going to show you actual footage of the guy just straight up teabagging me for no reason, after he constantly killed me with a flurry of light attacks. Of which, I'm going to say something a little controversial here. I don't really believe that light spam is a thing. I haven't really believed that since the CCU hit. When the CCU first did hit, I did complain about it a lot. I feel like the devs made the wrong choices with light attacks, but I don't really believe that light spam is a thing anymore. I believe that everyone's kind of adapted to it and just gotten better at the game currently. But that's neither here nor there. If you don't grow as a player, you end up being this type of person who I'm making this video about. And this video isn't necessarily going to be strictly about him or her. It's going to be about all the people who have done this in the past. It's strange, almost funny even, how often this type of thing has happened to me. And seeing how often it's happened to everyone else. You have these types of people who will take down lists just to make your life even more hellish than it already is while playing this game, because let's face it, playing this game solo is more of a chore than it is just about anything else. I'd much rather shove my dick inside of a cheese grater than play this game solo, hence why I almost always play brawls and 4v4s whenever I'm playing it by myself. And if I'm playing it on stream, I do play duels, but not for very long. The game overall does seem to tilt quite a few people, myself included sometimes, and that's just how the game is. The difference is whether or not you're going to shit talk and leave it in the moment, or if you're going to want to continue and drag it out for an extended period of time. People who most of the time shit talk and leave it in the moment are the ones who I usually just leave in the dirt and get over it and keep playing the game. But assholes like this who want to threaten to make my life more difficult and tell me to leave every lobby that I see them in, now it's going to be kind of the other way around. Now I'm going to have to do the same thing to him to be sure that he doesn't do it to me, and now he's putting me in such an akimbo position that I'm going to have to sweat every single time that I see him. I dislike that. I dislike that very strongly, actually. The fact of the matter is that when you do decide to play For Honor for fun, it's very seldomly because most people want to play at a competitive level or think they do play at a competitive level, when I know for a fact that I don't. I don't have the capability to play at a competitive level, otherwise I would have done it by now. Although I would enjoy being on some sort of competitive team at some point, just to see if I could give my hand at it. While I don't think that I'm quite as good as everyone else out there by any stretch of the imagination, I definitely would like to see if I could give it a shot. But whenever you're vibing with two of your friends, two of which are almost brand new to the game, it gets a little frustrating and stupid that I have to continuously deal with this type of shit. While getting hate mail a majority of the time can just be pretty funny overall, and even in this situation, honestly, it was. Threats can't ever be taken lightly, especially in a game like this, where people genuinely do get more frustrated about their sexual orientation in this game, rather than in any other game I've ever seen in the world. As you saw in that clip right there, that's where the Nobu decided to teabag me. I literally said in my mic to my friends, okay, let me lean forward a little bit, and actually begin trying. And that's where I did start trying, and that's where things kind of took a turn for the worst, I think. Obviously, I probably shouldn't have instigated this situation, but we all know how I am and how I'm not going to be able to resist something like that, especially when I was the only one who he did it to. After he saw me coming, he decided to pop a smoke bomb and run into the smoke so I couldn't fight him. Which, obviously, we all know how broken Smoke Bomb is and why it's been banned from competitive for fucking ever. But I do know that Nobu definitely isn't by any stretch of the imagination a good character, and I do know that Warmonger is, so I figured I could probably challenge him almost every single time consistently with no repercussions into it. And I figured, while I'm at it, let me go ahead and give him a good old bagging every single time that I see him from then on. So, that's exactly what I did. I'll show the messages at the end of the video like I always do in every video that I make like this. But one thing I did want to point out is that not everything is going to be all combat and bullshit. Sometimes you just want to play the game to have fun or enjoy the scenery, like I am in some of these clips. Sometimes this is what I do. I just walk around and look at everything, admire everything. And in matches like this where you have some salty dickhead trying to show his wiener off because his mother didn't love him or his mother loved him way too much, you can't really do stuff like that. So, you have to try as equally hard or as more hard as he is, and then go back and forth for a little bit just to prove that you're the better player. Even if I'm not, which, to be honest, I can't really say if I am or not. Both times he picked bad characters. Both times we played, I picked a good character who I knew I could shut him down with. But, seeing as all he did was throw lights with both characters that he picked, minus when he did pick Warden, occasionally from what I understand from my friends, it just kind of was able for me to shut him down every single time I fought him. He would either run himself completely out of stamina like he did there or the time before this, and just open himself up completely because he didn't know how to deal with the Warmonger 50-50 into the fainted guard break, or he'd just decide to run away, smoke bomb, and then dip out. It's kind of ironic dealing with this type of thing. When someone starts something with you by simply teabagging and you simply do it back, you kind of think it's just more of an eye for an eye. Especially when the match is less than halfway over, they decide to teabag like they think that they're going to win the entire match. It's kind of weird. You manage to shit on them twice as hard as they shit on you because they tried to shit on you, and then you just are able to push back into nothing and show them what they're made out of and show them what you're made out of as well. Oh, and by the way, if you guys do want to see all of the hate mail that I do end up getting from pretty much every situation that I play on, you can feel free to join the Discord server. The Discord link is going to be in the description of this video, and the reason I'm bringing it up is because, well, I put all of my hate mail in there. So it can be pretty funny to laugh at from time to time, especially in situations like this where, you know, I have warned you, ha ha ha. Tips Fedora, slaps Milady's ass. This guy is just a complete fucking joke. I can't stand people like this, man. The amount of edge that this guy had, literally, like, it genuinely threw me off. Like, I didn't even know how to respond at first. And that just completely blew my fucking mind. And the fact that he had to smoke bomb while ganking me, also, it did make me giggle quite a bit. But thankfully my buddy Blood showed up, and from there it was just, you know, Corruption City, and we just fucking destroyed their team again. It tended to be like that throughout both matches, and honestly, I think I came first place in both games. If not, I came, I think, second in the second or first match. But regardless, you know, I mean, it's Warmonger, what can I say? Character's just easy mode to play, and I really haven't had too many issues or too many stressful moments as Warmonger whenever I actually decide to lean forward and get serious. I do love this character, and I love this character's fashion, and I hate the fact that she gets so much hate for what happened whenever she first came out with how powerful corruption is, especially considering that it is fairly powerful still, but a lot more balanced than it was. This character seems to remind me a lot of the Wulin whenever they were first released, and how a lot of people still hate the Wulin for what happened upon their release. No character should be judged by their faction or the actions that they had in the past, really. What should matter is how they currently fit into the meta, and that's honestly how I think about every character currently. Highlander's little AIDS, Conk his AIDS is shit, and Shigoki is stupid as fuck, so that's why I stopped playing him. And here I am now with Warmonger, one of my favorite characters in the entire game, whom of which I swore up and down that I wouldn't like playing. And then you have people like this who are still trying to ruin it for me. I just want to play the game and have fun like everyone else, man. Everyone does. No one wants to be added to your stupid-ass list, and no one cares about your stupid-ass list. The fact of the matter is, this guy wasn't good enough to even back up the shit talk that he was talking. Like, he literally went out of his way to say, no matter what match I'm in, whether I'm on his team or on the enemy team, he was going to try to make my life hell. If he was better, and he actually played a decent character, I might have actually listened to that. I might have actually feared that slightly. But the fact of the matter is, this guy was absolute and utter dog shit, played like absolute and utter dog shit, and had an absolute and utter dog shit attitude. And that's how almost every single one of these people behave, and it throws me off so bad. People like this just behave like fucking idiots. And honestly, I don't expect much from other Fedora wearers at this point. It's the whole milady edgy attitude that everyone thinks is cool because they watch stupid fucking anime shows and just go off. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, leave a like, and I'll leave you guys with these JoJo poses and the screenshots for the hate mail that I received. Peace out. I love you guys. Be safe. Have a good one. And stay COVID free. Bye.